Hello people, how are you doing? Just last week we got incredible news. We're all over. Adobe acquires FIGMA for 20 billion US dollars. Big money! I don't know how you received that information. I don't know how you received the news. As a designer myself, I had my moments. I was equally happy and sad. In actual fact, I had a solemn moment to think through this. What does it mean to us designers? What does it mean to us as creators? Is it a good thing? Should we celebrate? Should we be mourning? Should we be sad? I had my moment to reflect. And I want to share with you my reflections today. It actually took me back a few years when I was a new parent, or we were new parents, and we just navigating through pregnancy with my wife and just delivery. It was at all cost of things. I know I'm diverging a little bit, I'm taking a little bit of a tangent, but walk with me here. I wanted the very best that I could afford for my family. I took a prenatal clinic in the best private hospital we have in the city, or best, or lucky, let me say famous private hospital, because the issue of best is debatable. I remember we subscribed and bought things that we didn't need. Anyway, we were new parents, we didn't know any better. They tell us you'll need gas during delivery. We bought it. You need someone to massage. We paid her. We bought what we. I mean, we're just running. I was just running card. Anyway, fortunately, the kid was born, bouncing, beautiful baby girl. But after a birth, the visit to the clinics or to the hospital, they became so frequent. A little bit of fever here, we take her back to the same hospital. And so what was shocking me is at times she would just have fever and we'll get an inpatient admission. Can you imagine? It was getting so bizarre that there's a time she had just had a fever and she was taken in HDU. The excuse was the other ward beds were full, so the only bed that was available is HDU. And our baby was fitted in HDU with pipes and everything running. Not because she had any complication, but because she had a fever. And the bed that was available is HDU. And of course, I had to pay for the HDU rate. So after some weeks, I started becoming unsettled with this. I had my own concerns and I shared with my wife. But anyway, we didn't know any better. So we knew that was the best hospital and we kept taking her there. And every other time we'll go home with loads and loads of medication, syrups, tablets, inhalers, you call them, anything. and it was bothering me, to be honest. But as I said, I didn't know anyhow. I later came to know actually that what is happening is that this hospital have a big appetite for milking money when they can. And of course, they are private hospital. But I was like, seriously, I think healthcare, we have capitalized healthcare beyond even thinking about the implication or the repercussion some of these things may have on the human health. So, anyway, we discovered the insurance cover that I had was pretty good and it had a lot of huge limits. So it was an opportunity for them to milk as much money as possible. So you go with a fever, you get to be sent to do a stool test, urine test, blood test, God knows who. Even there was a time they wanted to punch our spinal cord to get fluid to test things. I was like, seriously, what's wrong with you guys? Anyway, to cut that sad story short, is that fate would have it. There's a day she fell sick and we had to go to the nearest clinic that was near our neighborhood. So we go to the nearest neighborhood and we met an incredible human being. Let's call him Dr. Mwega for this conversation. So Dr. Mwega had a different approach to healthcare or, treatment. He would not send you to the lab if it is not necessary. If it knows it's flu, he'll give you a medication for how to manage flu. And something even more interesting came out. This guy, at times, would recommend you home remedies. Yes, you heard me right. He would recommend home remedies. So instead of you sending to the pharmacy, he tell you, go mix lemon, hot water, ginger, and honey. Can you imagine? That is weird. Imagining private hospitals, they would want to give you as much medicine as possible. So Dr. Mwega actually got to a level where he decided, you know what? He's getting conflict between the management, forcing him just to make sure, he's consulting, is bringing much revenue by sending people to the lab and giving them medicine that doesn't need. So that conflict led him actually to open his own clinic. So when he opened his own clinic, we actually came to learn about that later. We disconnected for about an year or two, but we came to appreciate Dr. Mwega actually has his own clinic. And he has become our go-to family doctor. It is shocking that the time you'll visit Dr. Mwega and you'll go home without medicine, without him sending you to the lab. He can know what the problem is and give you home remedy. Unheard of, something absolutely unheard of. His approach to medicine is incredible. So I was reflecting and asking myself, if Dr. Mwega today, I heard that his clinic has been bought over by one of these large city private hospitals for 20 million, 200 million, 2 billion Kenyan shillings, 20 billion Kenyan shillings. Big money. Would I be happy? Would I be sad? I'm not sure. I'll be happy for him, of course, if he makes such a huge fortune. 20 billion. Who sees 20 billion in their lifetime? However, I'll be concerned of who will continue pushing for different approach to healthcare. Healthcare beyond making profit. Looking for how sustainably can we keep ourselves healthy and not think about profits and money all the time. So this is what I think when I think about FIGMA, Adobe. FIGMA believed in a cause and they did it so well. They made our workflows as designers incredibly easy. And I've been questioning myself, asking myself rather, why would Adobe spend $20 billion to acquire FIGMA? Why not build their own software? In actual fact, they have a software called Adobe XD that does what for UX designers, UI designers. Why would they not innovate, work on it to a level that it gets to FIGMA? Why spend $20 billion? Are they killing competition? Those are things that concerns me. Okay. However, it's not all gloomy. And by the way, don't get the notion that I hate or I don't like Adobe. In actual fact, for over 10 years, for the last 10 years, I've been actively using Adobe products. I always have an Adobe subscription. Of course, initially when we started, we, like any other creative emerging in Africa, we used to use a cracked version of the software. I remember very well in 2011 or 2010 thereabout, when I tried to buy 2012 or 2013, when I tried to buy an Adobe. Sorry, let me take this again. I remember in 2012 when I tried to buy an Adobe subscription, they said they don't support this market. Africa is not their target market. So I had to crack one. It felt sad. But later, at least we managed to get proper, legit subscription. So I've been using Adobe product. I don't hate Adobe. In actual fact, I cannot, as a creative, I cannot stay without an Adobe subscription. I was just concerned why they would want to, because the reality of the matter is, in any industry, in any field, competition actually helps the the end user. They help the customer, because it means each company or each service provider have to keep being innovative, have incredible customer service, keep on listening to the feedback of their users and customers, and making sure they're delivering value for money every other time. So if there's no that, if we can only get all the products, all creative products, all softwares from Adobe, what does that mean? Who will check the other? Who will, be a wildcat and do some crazy innovation? Anyway, it is not all gloomy, as I said. I think there's hope. And in actual fact, if you look to the side of the coin, it's very positive, because it's a testament that if you as an organization or as an individual, you have a product and listen to your customers well, keep on innovating, and continuously innovate and give value to your customers, you'll be handsomely rewarded. Adobe has been FIGMA has been handsomely rewarded. $20 billion US. That's big money. So I'm thinking, wow, that is quite something. And the owners of FIGMA must be very happy. Being able to sell off your software or your product, even a company, you can sell it. I like the positive vibe I got when I read what the FIGMA CEO had to say. We have the opportunity to incorporate their expertise in imaging, photography, illustration, video, 3D, and font technology to the FIGMA platform. Additionally, we have the opportunity to reimagine the best creative tools could look like or within FIGMA's technology stack. But as I conclude, I want to say two things. One, I think as designers, we'll continue to thrive. Tools are tools. The skill is what is more important than the tools. So let's continue learning our tools, and we'll continue designing and making an impact. Number two, I tend also to think that there could be another young guys in a basement somewhere or in a garage trying to fill the vacuum that FIGMA has definitely left. So I'm looking forward to see interesting stuff or a new startup coming in to fill what the hole that FIGMA has left. And as much as number three also, I think for people like us also, me included, who have always had an Adobe subscription, it is interesting to appreciate that now we'll have even more in our subscription. So it's not a bad thing anyway. Actually, it's not a bad thing. I'm happy that my Adobe subscription now will continue, will include FIGMA, which is it's an interesting thing. So guys, I want to pause all, put a comma or the full stop at this point. But I want to hear from you. How did you take the news? What do you think the future holds for us, especially when the tools for designs are concerned? Cheers and thank you.